Hello everyone and welcome back. What is session hijacking and how it works? This is what we are gonna talk about in this video. Ready? Let's get started. Session hijacking is a technique used by hackers to gain unauthorized access to a victim's computer or online accounts. It happens when an attacker takes over your internet session while you are checking your credit card balance, paying bills or shopping at online store. Session hijackers usually target web browser or web application sessions. When they hijack the session, they can do anything that you could do on the website. Basically, hijackers fool the website into thinking they are you and steal sensitive information. Think it like this: a hijacker takes over an airplane and put the lives of passengers in danger. Same like this, a session hijacker can take control of an internet session and cause big trouble for a user. Okay, now before we get into its technical details and see how session hijacking works, it's really important to understand what is a session. A session is a series of interactions between a user and a server that occurs during the span of a single connection. When a user logs into an application, a session is created on the server in order to maintain the state for other requests coming from the same user. Session remains alive on the server as long as the user is logged onto the system. It is destroyed when the user logs out from the system or after a long period of inactivity. Now here is an important point to remember. Session hijacking can happen at any time during the lifetime of a session. Alright, now let's see how it really works. Session hijacking can take place in many ways. One of the most common methods that hijackers use is called session sniffing. Let's break it down into a step-by-step process. In the first step, when a user logs into a bank account, credit card website or online web store, application or website installs a temporary session cookie in the user's browser. That cookie contains the information about the user that allows the website to keep the user authenticated and logged in, and also tracks the user activity during the session. Session cookie stays in the browser until the user logs out. In the second step, hijacker gains illegal access to the user's valid session. He uses different techniques to steal the session. Particularly, he uses a packet sniffer that intercepts the communication between the user and the server, which allows the hijacker to see what information is being sent and received. Packet sniffer, such as Wireshark, is deployed to capture the user's session cookie, which includes session ID, also known as a session key. Session ID is an identification string that is transmitted between the user and the server. Session IDs are commonly stored in cookies, URLs, and web pages. URL containing the session ID might look like this. Finally, in step 3, hijacker captures the session ID to gain access. Once he gets the ID, he takes over the session without being detected and gets a payoff for stealing the session. When the original user goes on his way, hijacker uses the ongoing session to carry out evil activities. He can do anything that the original user was authorized to do during the active session. The most severe examples are stealing money from the user's bank account, buying items from online stores, and even encrypting critical data and demanding a ransom for its return. Here is a real-life example of session hijacking. Let's say John is sitting in a coffee shop connected to the shop's network, sipping a latte and checking his account balance. A hijacker at the next table uses session sniffing to capture the session ID. Once he gets the session key, he takes over the session by using session ID and accesses his bank account for malicious acts. Session hijacking can also be done by using a malware that infects the user's computer. This method gives the hijacker direct access to the victim's machine and allows him to hijack any active session. Some other methods of session hijacking can be IP spoofing, cross-site scripting, session fixation, brute force, and man in the browser. Alright, so this brings me to the end of my topic. Thanks for watching. Make sure you hit the subscribe button.